Recorded Books presents Breaking Day by Adam Oyebanji, narrated by Ariyan, Kassam. To Barbara, without whom nothing is worthwhile, and to Alex, for his love of dragons. Chapter 1. Midshipman Ravi Macleod, weightless and adrift in 0G, did what he often did. He barfed into his sick bag. With an ease born of long practice, he sealed it up and tossed the whole schmear into the recycler. The little machine gurgled gratefully, adding its vibration to the gentle thrumming of the elevator. The car, he noticed, had finally passed the 10-kilometer mark. Less than 5 to go. The elevator car, the only one that ran express to the engine rooms, was a blast from the past. Seldom used as it was one of the few parts of the ship still in its original condition, right down to the bronze plate with its early version of the ship's logo. First crew would have been right at home here. He doubted first crew would have appreciated being cut off from the hive, though. He didn't quite know when it had happened, but happened it had. At some point during his descent, the ebb and flow of data through his implants had died away to nothing. The nearest working routers would be in the docking ports, he reckoned, several kilometers above him and getting farther away by the second. His face twisted into a wry grimace. He would be offline for the duration. An image of Chen Lai popped into his head. In his imagination, the engineer's stern, grey-haired visage looked both disappointed and annoyed. "Explain to me, Midi," the engineer would demand, "how you can be offline while still aboard the ship." Chen Lai would lean forward, peering relentlessly into Ravi's eyes. As the scene played out in his head, he could picture his mumbling response all too clearly. "It shouldn't happen, sir. No matter where you are, you should always be in range of a router." So, Chen Lai might respond, "What the hungry do you think is going on?" The old man would stand there, stone-faced, waiting. "The routers, sir." There'd be the usual rush of blood to his face. "There are routers in the engine rooms. They're not working for some reason." And then Chen Lai would have nodded and sent him off to do something menial and humiliating. Ravi grinned to himself in relief. Thank Archie, the pedantic SOB was nowhere in sight. The grin faded as quickly as it had come. There was something wrong with the routers. He hung motionless in the middle of the elevator car. His face twisted with strain as his implants reached out to the engine rooms, feeling blindly for any sign of the silent equipment. The sudden beginnings of a headache stabbed at his temples. Would he have to fix the routers before he did anything else? The headache, unpleasant to begin with, was intensifying rapidly. Did he even know how to fix the routers? He threw an anxious glance through the roof of the car. What if he had to go all the way back up without accomplishing anything? His mouth dried up at the thought of Chen Lai's disdain, the unspoken mockery of his well-bred classmates. His jaw tightened with mullish determination. No way, he told himself. No sodding way. He'd space himself first. A series of musical chimes rang through the cabin, and Ravi, without really thinking about it, pointed his feet at the floor. A minute or two later, he was drifting downward. The elevator, after an hour-long journey to get there, was decelerating. A weak, ersatz gravity pulled him to the deck, only to vanish the moment the elevator slid to a halt. "Engine rooms," the elevator announced. The airlock lights were all green, so he went ahead and opened the hatches, which was stupid. The whole module, unvisited since Archie knew when, was still warming up. It was barely above freezing. Ravi looked around in dismay. Every surface was covered in a thin layer of frost. White breath billowed in front of him, drifting lazily in the direction of the nearest filter. The air itself, stored away for far too long, tasted of metal. Its cold fingers slid effortlessly through the thin blue fabric.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?